Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your first video for grade 11U semester 2 with Mr. White. I told you guys that I would upload the solutions to the 1.2 note. I know I did A, B, C, D, no, I did A, B, C with period 1. And with period 2, I think I finished D. But what I'm going to do just to make sure that this is an all-inclusive video is I'll do all of them for you. I'll probably start off and do the first 4, and then I'll do the last 2 on a second video. And this is yours to finish off for the weekend. And then I'll come back and I'll do another video on 1.3. And I want 1.3 done for Monday as well. So let's start off. Remember we talked about this in class. If I take a look at this from afar, what I've got is 2 times a whole bunch of stuff in here. Okay, so what I need to do is get inside there and do some work first. Going inside these brackets, these are not like terms, so I can't do anything with them. So this is multiplication. We're going to do the multiplication first. So this is going to be 2. I'll still have a brace bracket here. I'll do 6x plus 9, and I'll do negative 2x plus 2. Then this will become 2. I don't like the brace brackets, and I don't have brace brackets and round brackets, so I'm going to use the round brackets here. So this is going to be 4x plus 11, and then it will be 8x plus 22. I need to make a clarification. I called these brace brackets, and that's incorrect. These are square brackets. Brace brackets actually look like this. They're a little curly. So square brackets, round brackets, brace brackets. All right, over here. So we have this idea. So we have a binomial squared. We talked about in class that it's a good idea if you learn this expansion. So it's going to be the first term squared, this times 2, and the last term squared. And again, you can certainly get the same result by writing this out twice and doing FOIL, first, outside, inside, last. But not my favorite. This is going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit cleaner. Let's see how we can do this. So it's going to be the first term squared, so it's 2x squared. So it's going to be 4x squared. Well, remember, it's 2x is going to be squared plus 2 times 2x times 5y. And then it's going to be plus 5y squared. So this is what's going on inside of my head. Okay, so it's 2x squared, which is 4x squared. 2x times 5y is 10xy times 2 is 20xy. And this squared will be 5 times 5 is 25, y squared. So then the next step is going to be expand that 3 or distribute that 3 into all 3 terms. And it'll be 12x squared plus 60xy plus 75y squared. And that'll be your final answer. Over here, we have a binomial times a trinomial. So we're going to expand this term into each of those 3, and this term into each of those 3. So it's going to be 2 times 5, which is 10, x cubed times x2, so that you add the exponents when the bases are the same and you're multiplying. We add the exponents, so it's x to the 5. It's going to be plus 6x to the 4 minus 4x cubed plus 5x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x. Collecting like terms, there are no other 5s, there are no other x to, I do have x to the 3's here, so 10x to the 5 plus 6x to the 4 plus x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x. And this one, we're taking a look at this. So there is an expansion for it, but I don't expect you to know it. Okay, so this one I'm just going to do writing it out. Now, period 1 class, it was near the end of the class, and I was writing this out for you, and I wrote it out incorrectly. I wrote it with a 2 instead of the 3 there, so fix that, please. Now, we're simply going to expand this, distribute this term into each of these 3. So it's going to be 4x to the 3, and 3 is 6. Then it's going to be plus 6x to the 4. Then it's going to be minus 2x cubed. Then this one goes to all 3. So it's plus 6x to the 4 plus 9x squared minus 3x. Then this one goes to all three. Negative 2x3, negative 3x, plus 1. Looking for like terms, it's going to be 10x to the 6's. It's going to be 12x to the 4's. It's going to be negative 4x to the 3's, plus 9x squareds, minus 6x's, plus 1. Okay. Looking down the sheet a little bit, I've got this next one. Okay, so these are 1, 2, 3 binomials. I have to put them together. Now the order of multiplication does not matter. Let's think for a minute. If I had 2 times 3 times 5, that's the same as 5 times 2 times 3. It's the same as 3 times 2 times 5. All of those will equal the same thing. It doesn't matter the order of operation. They're all 30. But notice when you do them, it's 2 times 3 times 5. It's 5 times 2 times 3. It's 3 times 2 times 5. It could be anything that we want. We could even put these two together first and do 3 times 5 times 2, or 2 times 3 times 5, or even 5 times 3 times 2. But what happens is each one gets multiplied only once. You certainly don't do 2 times 3 and 2 times 5. You don't do 5 times 2 and 5 times 3. So I can multiply these guys together in any order that I want, but they each get multiplied once. So I'm going to start in the order that they appear. So it'll be 3a squared plus 6a minus 2. And this one will just stay what it is. I haven't done it yet. I will simplify this one. I'll get 3a squared plus 5a minus 2 is 5a plus 4. Again, I just brought this down. I just simplified this. And now we want to expand this trinomial into this binomial. So now it's going to be 15a cubed plus 12a squared plus 25a squared plus 20a minus 10a minus 8. Collecting like terms, 15a cubed plus 37a squared plus 10a minus 8. What you should do for practice is maybe change this up now. For practice, do the same question, but multiply these two together first, and then put that one in, and see if you get the same answer. Okay, the last one on this page is F. I've got a bunch of things happening here. So what I'm thinking here is I need to do this one, which will be 5, 2x plus 3 squared. I need to do this one, which will be x minus 5 squared. And then I need to do this one, which will be 3x minus 1, 2x plus 5. Now notice I haven't done anything. I haven't done a darn thing, except I know that I need to be careful of that sign. Because this is this whole thing plus this whole thing, subtract this whole thing. So let's see how this is going to play out. So it's going to be 5. Now, if I put the 5 in first, it's wrong. Remember, it's BEDMAS. Brackets, exponents. There's nothing to do in the brackets, but I must do the exponent first. So this 5 has to wait its turn. I'm going to take the first term and square it. I'm using this expansion, remember. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 2x times 3 is 6 times 2 is 12x plus 9. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is this part. Okay? Then the next one is going to be x squared minus 10x plus 25. And again, I used the expansion. This squared, this times 2, this squared. And lastly, we're going to do 3x times 2x, which is 6x squared, plus 15x, minus 2x minus 5. Let's do some simplifying here. We're looking at 20x squared plus 60x plus 45. Remember that 5 needs to go to all three. This will be plus 10x squared minus 10x plus 25. But this puppy, see that negative? It's going to be negative 6x squared Positive 15x, take away 2x is positive 13x, but that negative is going to make it negative 13x. And this negative 5 and that negative are going to become positive 5. Put in my equal signs, otherwise Mr. White's going to take a mark off. And what we have is 14, 15x squared, I believe, 60x, 50x, 40, 37x if I haven't made a mistake. I don't have a calculator, so I'm winging it. 37x I think is what I have. 45 plus 25 is 70, plus 5 more should be 75. Let me just check those x's again. 60x, take away 10x is 50x. Take away 10 more is 40. Take away 3 is 37. I think I'm right. There you go. So there's your first video. Go do your homework. Make sure that you can do them all well. All of 1.1, all of 1.2. Make sure that it's not just done, but that you could do it again in a day or two from now. And we'll have a quiz on Monday. We'll do something along those lines. And you're going to have another video in just a minute on 1.3.